Just imagine if we could have invested at the early stages of Facebook, Amazon, Netflix, Google, Tesla. I think right now would be really, really fortunate. Maybe you'll have heard recent news of a major company, Airbnb, going public and wanted to know how you as well could get in on these investment opportunities early so that hopefully you'll be able to get in at a really low price and take advantage of that long-term company growth. Pay attention because in this video, we're going to be looking at ways that you're able to spot IPOs early and be notified when they do. Do bear in mind this video focuses specifically on UK stock market. For those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Jay Campbell. Here we talk about how to make, manage and maximize your money. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and like this video if you like this video because it will help out the channel a lot. So with that being said, let's go straight into the video and first just actually discuss what an IPO is. An IPO is a short term for initial public offering, and it's essentially when a company wants to take its shares and make them available to be bought by the public. This is essentially a cash raising event for the company, and it gives us as the investors the opportunity to take advantage of A, the capital growth of a company, and two, the chance to actually get dividends of the company if they are performing well and the company wants to offer a dividend. So of course, that is always a great opportunity to be able to get in at an early stage, because if we look at certain companies like Amazon, Google, Netflix, just a few, then we will see that over the start of their journey, they started off at a very cheap price compared to what they are today. So that meant that we could have bought at a really low price, sold at a really high price, and hopefully made some really healthy gains. Now, an amazing example of this is when we look at Amazon. With Amazon, we can see that actually ever since the time that they initially went public, that they have actually risen in terms of their share price by 1,178.83%, and it's just gone up again. So that is absolutely massive in terms of our growth. And of course, if we're able to achieve those kinds of gains on our investments, then I think most people will be really, really happy. So I'm just having a look down here at the early stages of Amazon. Looking at the very beginning in 2013, it was about £269 per share. And then as we go all the way up to this present day, you see a huge spike here. The shares are now trading at £3,348, which is massive momentum. So of course, it would have been good to buy at least at most points in this journey throughout Amazon's listing time. However, if we'd got in at the very start, that would be where we'd have seen some really, really, really healthy profits, especially if we decided to cash out and take advantage of those profits. So that is just an example of why being in an IPO early in a tangible way can be really, really good. Actually, through my research, I've been able to find 2 companies that have been able to actually send us alerts before an IPO actually happens. So that way we are early before the IPO does happen and can take advantage of a situation like this. So the first one that I want to share with you is an app that I have recently found, and the app is called Primary Bid. So just want to open it up and share it with you guys. Again, this focuses for companies that are going to be public on the London Stock Exchange as far as I'm aware. So again, do bear that in mind. Now, as you can see with Primary Bid, you go into their first page and they will show you a little bit about what they have to offer. So they essentially have a claim that we are the only place where private investors can access exclusive share issues by listed companies on the same discounted terms as institutions. And you are able to essentially hear about the deal as soon as an offer goes live. So just that little competitive edge, being in there early is always great. Now, their shares, they say, are allocated on a first come first served basis. So I quite find this quite funny, a bit of scarcity there. So essentially, it's just trying to get you to act pretty fast, but hey ho. And then essentially, you're able to just simply invest between £100. So the minimum is £100, as you can see, and up to £100,000 using a standard debit card. Then it talks about getting your shares. So your shares will be transferred straight away to your chosen account, as you can see here. So a really nice, straightforward, easy setup, hopefully you can see. I'm not going to be able to share the actual app itself because on their disclaimers they just don't allow viewing from certain countries as far as I could understand. So I just want to say from my experience with it, it was really easy to actually navigate, and they had the companies that were recently listed and also a lot of detail about those companies, so it made it really easy to actually review them and see whether they were actually a good investment for any specific circumstances. Now, the other app that I have been able to find that does this service as well, again for UK, is Hargreaves Lansdown. And Hargreaves Lansdown are a huge company, as many of you might know of, and they have a service where you're able to essentially simply put in your contact details and they will basically send you free alerts to let you know when an IPO has happened, which is pretty good. So these are 2 free ways that we're able to simply get in and invest early at no extra cost to ourselves, which is always good. And with that being said, there is a slight other side to this. I've shown some really good examples. We've of course gone over Amazon, Netflix, and there are several other good examples, but of course, just because there are a good example doesn't mean that every single example of an IPO is successful over time. And if we are to look, for example, at a company called GoPro, they do like video gear and like camera equipment, etc. for like sports. I'm sure you've probably heard of them. But GoPro started off their initial public offering and they were at about, looking at the graph here, at $35 is the lowest point that we had there at the start, around that point. However, actually, ever since they first went public, they are actually in the minus. Of course, something just to bear in mind that these IPOs, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to just get in and like make money over the long term all the time. Of course, you might have got in at the very start here and been able to take advantage of that initial spike within the first quarter or so. But after that, it was kind of steadily downhill with a little spike. But that's just to kind of bear in mind that when actually going for IPOs and looking for companies to decide to invest in, it's really key to actually be able to do your research at the start and make sure that you actually understand what you're investing in to give yourself the best chances of success. So that are the 2 key apps that I have found that allow you to spot IPOs early, a little bit about IPOs, and also the importance of really doing the research before investing in anything. That way you're always able to make an informed decision. So that's everything for the video, guys. Really hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if there's any companies that you've got your eyes on in terms of wanting to invest in for 2021 or the upcoming year. And if you guys have any cool comments that you want to let me know about this video, then just message me in the comment section. I do try to reply to every single comment, so that will be awesome there. Like the video if you love this, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you can get plenty more like this.